cases have been surging. Looking at this 2-month chart of average 7-day cases in the US, UK and France. And if you compare that to the rise in hospitalizations, now there you see it. There you see the comparison. Let's say if you go backwards and forwards between the two, and you'll see quite clearly the number of COVID patients, the number of cases rising sharply versus the number of people in hospitalization, in hospital. It's nowhere near in the same. Dr. Carlos Del Rio joins us from Emory University in Atlanta. I'm not trying to make too much of this, but it does seem that this is significant. We know it, at least amongst the vaccinated and the treated, Omicron is something to be careful of, but it's not going to kill you, or highly unlikely to.
Good afternoon, Richard. Yeah, that is correct. I mean, I think we are learning more about this variant. The first thing we can say is that it's highly transmissible, so your chances are that you're going to see it. This variant is going to find you. But the second thing, and that's why you're seeing such a huge number of cases globally, but the second thing we learn is that while the variant has ability to evade the immune system, if you're vaccinated, if you're boosted, you're not going to get severely ill. You're not going to end up in the hospital. If you're vaccinated and boosted, when you confront this virus, you're going to get a head cold. You're going to get a head cold, but not more than that. The problem is we still have a large number of the population unvaccinated, both locally here in the U.S. and globally.
Right. Well, let's put those people to one side, since they seem to be, at least in the United States, I mean, the rest of the world haven't got the vaccines in enough numbers. But on this question of where next, so the Pfizer guy basically saying we can't keep vaccinating. I mean, that's what we're doing. You know, we know that Omicron defeated double vaccine, and the extra and the safety came from the booster, in a sense. We can't keep vaccinating or boosting the population of the world.
Well, and I agree with that. I think we are not going to beat this virus by boosting. We're going to beat this virus by vaccinating the world and by using, as President Biden said, the other strategies. This is not just vaccination. We have to use vaccination, we have to use masking, and we have to use testing. It's really layers of mitigation that are going to make a difference.
But when you say make a difference, can you sketch for me what an end scenario looks like, whether it be next year, the year after, or 2030? What does the end of COVID-19 look like?
Well, it's been very hard to predict the future with this virus, Richard, but I would say that Omicron may be the beginning of the end. So many people are going to get infected that at some point in time, we're going to reach certain level of immunity and protection from another variant. And unless there's a very different variant, very, very different, I think we're going to go through periods of the epidemic starting to slow down. I am hopeful that over the next 4 to 6 weeks here in the United States, we're going to start seeing a peak. And the peak may be very high, but then we're going to start coming down in infections. And what happens after that really is going to depend on what happens globally. And that's where we have the opportunity. It's like the water is receding. Before the next wave comes, we have to get out there and vaccinate the world to prevent another variant from emerging.
Dr. Del Rio, the problem is we knew that last year. In fact, people like you came on programs like this and said exactly that. You know, no one's safe until everybody's safe. And we didn't really listen, or at least the policymakers didn't. And we still have large parts of the world, the developing world, unvaccinated. That's where the next Omicron's coming from.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we need leadership. And I'm hoping that the Biden administration will do something. We need global leadership to really lead an effective global vaccination campaign. We've done it previously with other diseases. We did it with smallpox. We did it with HIV, with PEPFAR. Yep. We have to do it with COVID.
Briefly, Doctor, because we're just about out of time, but I'm getting weary of people telling me that masks don't work. You're an expert in this. Do masks work?
Absolutely, Richard. There's no doubt that masks work. But for masks to work, you have to use them. You have to wear them. I carry in my pocket my mask. This is a KN95 mask. It's well fitted to me. And I recommend when I carry it in my pocket, so when I go to places that there's a lot of people like a grocery store, I can just pull it up and rapidly put it on.
Good to have you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for taking the mask off to talk to me. We'll be with you again soon. Thank you.